The Enel matchup is a rather difficult one for Nami because it's evolved over time from being aggressive to control to kind of mid-rangey, and the strategy has been really evolving as well for the Enel player. A lot of them have learned to starve the Nami player, and so a lot of questions come up as to how to counter that. And it's kind of what I want to go over today. I want to provide you a little bit of a guide as a Nami player to how you can approach the matchup, and then provide some games after the fact as a bit of a learning experience. If you like this format and you want to see more of this video, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video and let me know what leader you want me to highlight next for the Nami matchup. And maybe you just want me to do NL again. But for now, for OP07 NL, the key here is that the deck tends to be a bit more controlling. So you have some amount of interaction here. The Kingdom Come doesn't really come into place because we're not playing Zephs anymore. Really, it's you're the one who should disappear. So if you go into combat hoping that something will die, you have to realize it's not just about working around a 2k counter. You have to kind of account for a card like this when countering out. But the first and foremost is going to be Onami. So Onami isn't really commonly played for leader. A lot of times what's going to happen is your opponent is going to starve you out, where they go card, not swing, card, don't swing, blah, blah, blah. Then they have a bunch of open dawn with maybe like a giant rush NL and then play Onami. At that point, if they're not going card, slam, card, slam, hopefully at that point, all you can really hope for in the beginning mulliganing sections is hoping that you have a more proactive hand. You want to find hands with Pilafs and Kayas and not so many events. There are other matchups where you would prefer the events and then like the Kayas Pilafs later. This is one of those matchups where you have to bank on the fact that your opponent will probably be kind of starving you. So you want a bit of a more proactive hand so you can get all your events. That way, when they start swinging large with an Onami, you are able to counter that out. And what's nice though, is this matchup doesn't really have any double attack. So sometimes it's like they put an Onami out there, just take it, whatever, let them hit you with everything else. If that's their only swing, fine, kind of move on. They only have 3 or 4 in the matchup here. Other cards that you want to think of is Gidatsu, specifically because of its removal. I will talk about how one of the blockers we have is probably one of the single best cards we have in this matchup, but forcing the Gidatsu out is really key because it's not really like the most ideal play that they could have. A lot of times they might just want to play Shirahoshi for a little bit of card selection, but sometimes they might just want like a Frankie on 4 if they force you to go first, and just like things like that. They might even want to play Sabo as a way to kind of better KO, something like that. So generally speaking, the Gidatsu might not be the most optimal thing in the world, but it does force that action because that's kind of the first thing they clue into. You play Gidatsu for the removal, you're there to pop the blockers, and then that saves your Kayas and your other searchers for your snake dances. The other card you want to look for, a little rarely so, is Monkey D. Luffy. Remember, we're not playing Black-White Luffy here, so the chances of them being at low life aren't really that relevant. This card doesn't really go off too much. After that, Rush NL is always something to be aware of. For those of you removal players, it happens once and you always remember it. You cannot remove this once, right? You have to remove it twice. So if you have something like Red Rock out, it won't do anything. It'll just trigger its effect and it won't leave. This isn't when it KOs, it stays on field. It's if it leaves in any fashion, and that's from kind of bouncing, that's from tucking under the deck, stuff like that. Other pieces that you want to think of is Charlotte Katakuri, just as a way for them to get rid of a blocker, but also maybe heal them if you're playing like a Battle Nami style. Yamato is one of their better plays, again, as another 9 cost, especially if you go second, for them to slam, get rid of your blocker, and kind of swing through there. And then Ace as just another way to kind of heal a little bit, but also just as a massive body to just rush in. You have to be expecting something like this. If you start seeing a lot of like blank 5k swings with like leader or Frankie, or a lot of blank 6k swings, you might want to expect something like Ace coming in to potentially finish you off. But noting that they don't have any necessarily like events that remove things, they do have to play a character, and that's kind of what you want to do when you're thinking of something like your list. Now, this is the list from the #1 spot here, and honestly, your best card here is truly just Margaret. Your best card is genuinely Margaret. Like, if you're able to and still holds up events, you want to play Margaret, because you're going to see in some of the games that we play where Margaret comes down, forces them to play a card, and then make suboptimal decisions based on remaining Dawn, or heck, 0 Dawn left over to them, which allows you to then use up cards to counter out and move forward. Otherwise, you may have just played a card to draw a card, and then you spent 3 Dawn to draw a card and play a blocker. They played 5 Dawn on like a Gidatsu or a Sabo to play a card, and then get rid of your card, and then maybe not swing in if they decide to starve. Regardless of what you're doing, you are still proactively playing a bunch of cards. You are playing out your deck. You are drawing through your cards. Again, that is exactly what you want to do. A lot of other matchups, you would rather use up your events. Your Margarets may actually just be gavel fodder, but in this matchup, you actively want to do your best to play out your Margarets when it's safe. Right. And again, another matchup where honestly, if you don't have anything else, if you do have other things to do, you don't necessarily want to be playing like Sanji's Pilaf too early, because you do want to hold up stuff for events, but also you would rather be spending 3 Dawn on the Margaret versus the Pilaf, where other matchups, you actually would rather play the Pilaf. But you know, against matchups like Lucci, where they're probably going to get rid of the Margaret, if you need events, just play the Pilaf. But against something like this where they're not using events to do so, they have to kind of build out their board and make suboptimal decisions because those cards that remove our board are so high cost. You do want to make those type of decisions. So Margaret is your best bet. Play that out. In terms of the rest of it, like generally speaking here, Snake Dance is probably bouncing a lot of the time. It's bouncing Gloriosa. And this happens a lot because you generally don't want to be bouncing Kaya if you don't have a peel off, because then you're just going to be losing cards, and you don't want to do that against yellow. They're going to swing big at you. You don't want to be card negative. You want to have as many cards as possible. So Gloriosa is going to be a great way to kind of continue to filter through, grab your mellows, grab your Snake Dance, do the kind of whole trick over and over again. And that's generally my tips for the NL matchup. Early game, play out, be as proactive as possible, mulligan for a proactive hand, and bank on the fact that they'll starve you. If they don't starve you, you find they're swinging, that's even better, because when they're swinging at you and they're not starving you, you are favored in that matchup. When they're starving you, it's closer to 50-50, probably negative. Hopefully you mulligan to a proactive hand, and that's the best you can do. Enjoy the games and let me know what you think about the NL matchup. The NL matchup's actually an interesting one. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. Okay, I like this one better, a little bit lower to the ground. So we get access to, we're just gonna pass here. Because we get access to honestly, I could have kept it going, but I was going to say we get access to Snake Dance. It's not optimal. Yeah, if they just swing like this, then we can do this. We're going to bottom all of that. So the reason I did that was if they attach all 3 Dawn, we get access to Snake Dance, but I could have just played it and then pitched Kaya and Boa, to be fair. But this is one of those situations, one of those hands where, like one of those matchups, I should say, where you just want to keep more resources. Like they're not going to like, there's no pudding to be aware of or anything like that. So we're just going to trash that 2K and keep it pushing. And now we'll just have to start forcing Kayas. Let's play this out and then pass the turn. The blockers are nice because it forces them to use a lot of that Dawn, as I mentioned. And so it's really just a matter of if they're gonna quote unquote starve us. I don't believe so. Not by how they're playing, if they're just gonna be playing out like Frankie and stuff. Okay, we'll play out another one. And then draw 2 and pass. So the reason we can do this is they're just like not removing anything. Remembering that Monkey D. Luffy really only works, not really only works if you're at 2 or less life. So unless they have another Flampe, like I'm not swinging into them to enable that. Let's see how they end up swinging here. We got a free block on 1. Yeah, so we'll just blocker the 7K. Let's see how they spread themselves out. They go like 7K swing, 6K swing. No, they're gonna go 7 again, which is fine. So we'll go do this, and then we'll get rid of the hanger. And then if they swing 6K, okay, I was gonna say if they swing 6K, then we'll just hit them with that. So we're gonna get rid of the White Snake here. They have a couple of 6K attacks. Like White Snake's not the most efficient thing to be doing with our time here. What I will do is I will swing into this just to pull a card out. Yeah, where we can, and then end the turn. Yeah, I mean, if they're not drawing cards, you'll print this card into blue. Cowards. This still wouldn't be, well, I say this wouldn't be played, but like, I mean, we have Mr. 1, but drawing 3 cards and trashing 2 is a lot deeper. So I will say that. Okay. So no blocker. Let's trash that. Like I'm saving blocker for like a big swing. Use your Dawn. Use your Dawn. Come on. Yes, that is what blocker is being used for. There you go. Yes. So I'm actually going to snake dance the Gloriosa here. It's one thing I really like doing. Because yeah, it's one thing here, I'll do this now. It's one thing I really like doing because if you don't have peel off, the Kaya just isn't that great. You tend to just want, oh, okay, well, speaking of, sprecking of, you know, 2-2-1-1, one pitch. It's yeah, 2-2-1-1. Yeah, we can spare it on. Spare it on. Throw that at the Geratsu. Keep them thinking. Yeah, just keep them thinking from there, and then just end the turn from there. Really, what we want to be doing is just countering out where we can. Kind of, they're like flooding out the board a bit more here. And it seems like, I mean, I don't know, like this player is choosing to maybe spend more time flooding out their board. Let me grab this. Yeah, choosing to spend more time kind of flooding out their board, making it wide instead of going for the starve Nami method. But let's see what happens here. Okay, we will definitely do this. I think we're gonna bottom these. I actually like all three of these. I'm gonna save the Kaya. This hand is a little awkward based on like how I want to sequence it. Yeah, it's a little awkward based on how I want to sequence it. Okay, we'll go gavel, pitch, gavel. We'll probably take a hit here. Okay. Okay. We'll take we'll go gavel pitch here. There's no way you just attach. I'll take the other hit. That's fine. I'll save those. Okay. All right, opponent, you got nothing else. So at this point, we're gonna play out our two Gloriosas. Hopefully we can convert those. Yes, we can. We're gonna build into that. Play this. Grab the 2K. Draw into that. Bottom decking a lot. We're pushing a lot to the back to the top here. At this point, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could play out 3 and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I only have enough for 1 gavel. Pull a card out. Get into some combat here. I think we just want to use our events here as much as possible. I want to use both gavels here because our hand represents 6 cards. That takes us to 10. That pretty much is like exactly what we bottom decked. And if we take a hit or two, it's kind of there. So let's see what we can do. We'll go gavel pitch the, like, I'm really thinking about, I don't know if I want to use this Margaret though, because I bottom decked a Kaya. And so that should be card number. That's the thing I have to think about. Like the Kaya, I did bottom deck 4 underneath Kaya event. I want that Kaya. That's the key. I want that Kaya. So you're doing a lot right now. Let's go trash and then 2K counter. Yeah. So we should know our life at this point. One thing I've been wanting to do is maybe add like a notepad here, just for like good tracking, just so we all know. So we probably just want to go gavel pitch at this point. Gavel pitch, gavel. Okay, so the next card is Kaya. That's the key here. So I'll just take a bunch of hits. I don't mind. Okay, drop the snake dance. Unfortunate draw 2, but we will make it happen. I'll just take hits, opponent. I don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah, see, this is how you not play this matchup. Oh baby. Oh baby. Okay, so at this point, yeah, this hit I'm going to take. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, choose, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'll do this and then still resolve that hit so I get the card. Yep. So now we're going to draw 2 cards. We're going to draw 2 cards and we are going to deploy. So, I mean, that's the way it is. Our opponent had the ability based on what's in hand to starve us out. They chose not to do that. If they drew these cards late, it probably was like kind of too late in the game, but our opponent could have played that a little bit better. Let's see if we can get like maybe a matchup that's a bit more representative of how NL players kind of play it out. The Vengador 95 will be going first. I actually don't mind this hand completely. I'll keep it. It's the double Margaret, forces a bunch of Gadatsus, like it forces their Dawn out. Okay, maybe not that many blockers, but I guess we'll be drawing some cards. So let's see if they just swing 9. If they swing 9 at us, we'll double rubber band. Actually, I might just beam because otherwise I don't have protection. Yeah, because they'll go to 3, then they'll go to 5. Yeah, I think we might just have to throw out the beam. Okay, opponent. Yeah, I was going to say, come on. Yeah, there you go. So let's just do this. No draw, but then now we can play Margaret and pass the turn. We'll use this peel off later on. This forces Gadatsu if they go to, yep, there you go. And then now I can kind of do this. Okay, I honestly don't mind this completely. Just keep those on top. I don't mind it completely. Right, and then just pass the turn. So this forces another Gadatsu. If they have it, yep. We have a 2K counter. Yup. Attached to Dawn. Yeah. So do this first. I don't want Hanger in this matchup. Probably just want this first. And then we'll go kind of mill that. Let's play out blocker again. Draw 2. And then pass the turn from there. We can go kind of 1 cost. See, like you kind of force the action, like they're forced to play out these Gadatsu, whereas they might play out other threats or something a bit more offensive type of thing. So we're going to have to take a hit here, which isn't ideal. Here, let's do that. And then we can use that to pull that. Right. And then let them swing 6K. Oh, they don't do it, eh? All right. I mean, I'll do this and I'll pull this and then I'll just run it like that. Yeah. That's the plan. I've gotten out all 4 Margarets. Yeah, all 4 Margarets, forced action on all 4. And that's kind of the great thing here is like they might play other things, but we're forcing them to play certain things that it forces them to be kind of active in that sense. So we will definitely just go bang, bounce this. Right, we'll do this. Looks like we're taking a hit here. I mean, okay, we'll take 9 off of that. Yep. First hit of the day. Yep, no trigger on that for sure. So continue to pull. This we'll draw it like that at the bottom. I'm forgetting my bottom decks now. I'm playing a little too fast, but that's okay. I think we're gonna drop the white snake, especially if I'm gonna use that. Okay, so we can go 2, 2, and 1. Yeah, okay. We're at 19 cards. We're close. We need to survive 2 more turns, and then we can kind of go for that win. So, oh yikes, that's not good. Get a single banish hit in. I really don't want them to do this. So I'm just going to have to stop it. Yeah, I really don't want to take banish hits here. Not at this point in the game. Still too early for me. Yeah, we lost 2 white snakes there. Opponent coming in for 7 Zs. So we'll do this. Nice. And then we'll go 2K. Might end up taking 2 hits here. Let's see. Love that trigger. Ooh, lost a peel off there. That's not fun. Okay. No trigger. This little, yeah, okay. So let's pull some cards here. So now let's start memorizing. So the Kaya, so you want Kaya into this at the bottom. So we have 3 more instances of 4. Let's continue to pull. We have peel off Kaya at the bottom. So we'll go Kaya. Let's go drop, drop. Okay. We have 9 cards. We know our card. No, see, we have to be careful with how we use this gavel here, because card number 8 here is thing. So we're gonna trash this. We're gonna redraw, and we're going to do this. Right. Right. We're going to redraw the Kaya. Nice. And then now we can go gavel pitch. Yeah, now we want to go gavel pitch. I actually just might take these hits, depending on how they do this. Use this trigger, bounce the Kaya. Definitely a good place to be bouncing Kayas. So this is the hit that we want to counter out of, right? And then on my opponent should not swing here, but they do. So this is a mistake. No need. We'll draw into the peel off. No need. We'll draw into the peel off. No need to rearrange. So Kaya, ditch, ditch, peel off, and then we'll win. Yeah. So again, another example of an opponent. I mean, it looks like they're ready for a rematch. So I might just run it back. Another example of opponent that should be starving us out, but we get to see the power of what Margaret has. Oh no, they just disconnected. Okay. To really get to see what the power that Margaret has to force action on our opponent, that they may do something a little bit differently, especially considering their hand. Like, they had rush ace in hand. They chose not to play it. Like, it's probably a bad player choice. It looks like they had rush NL at some point. But GG's. Forgot to press record in the first couple of seconds, but we're only like 2 turns in here. So opponent swinging, kind of 8K here. We are going to use the snake dance and pass through. We mulligan into this hand, not the most proactive hand in the world, but that's okay. We're probably just going to draw 2 cards and pass the turn here. And being proactive is great. It doesn't look like our opponent is on the starve plan, but that's okay. They're being aggressive. Let's see. Oh, okay, you can have that one. If you're not playing anything on 5, that's good news for me. I will generally say that. That is good news for me. I'll play the Margaret. Probably just in a vacuum, probably that. Play this out, end the turn. You can play your Gadatsu, pop that for, like, you're spending 5 Dawn on that. Then you have 2 Dawn to kind of take it from there. I'll counter out of that. That doesn't work. No, opponent's new. Opponent's new. Sorry. Oh, Lord. Use the card action. Pop. Opponent is just brand new to the game. Wow. That's actually so unfortunate. Wow. I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't understand the matchup here. I guess maybe, hey, this is the sim. You're allowed to make mistakes like that. See what happens. So Flampe kind of takes them down. Yeah, you place this. Your life total's got to be 2 or less. Okay. All right. Our opponent is not familiar with the matchup in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to blocker this. That's exactly what the blocker's for. We are going to... Honestly, we're just going to use it. Because, yeah, this gives me access to cards like this. We're going to peel off. We're going to peel off. And we're going to keep it going. Because if our opponent is not playing any threats, I can do this as much as I want here. Okay. Okay. I mean, again, like, rest, trash this, draw another card. Love it. Kaya. Let's go. Drop that. Play out the blocker on this and pass the turn. We are at 20 cards for life. We are in such a commanding position. Opponent made a bit of a starve move there. They kind of played this, didn't swing, which was interesting. I feel like they could have swung there, but, you know, that's okay. Attach 4 to ace. Yeah, I mean, they KO'd a thing. That's fine. So they spend 6 Dawn to do that. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it can be so tricky for them to really do, like, anything. Trash, and then we'll go gavel pitch. Trash, and then we will just do this. And swing 5K if you want. You risk it? I mean, they'd be guessing right. They wouldn't know. I was just gonna say, they wouldn't know. We are in such a commanding position here. We are at sub 15 cards and 4 life. Yeah, it's probably the only way you're getting anything done. Honestly, you just got to start swinging. Yeah, give it a rush. You just got to start swinging. No, I don't know, opponent. I don't know. I'm not using hanger here because, like, here's why. Hanger isn't good in this matchup. I played it out as a meme. It's just like, yo, let's just pretend we don't have it. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those things. So let's do this. Let's redraw. Let's redraw again. Opponent, come on. Come on. Let's do this. Yes, this is going to draw me into White Snake, right? And then, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's pretty much 4 cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, yeah, it's those cards exactly. So I pretty much, I could have won if I used the hanger there. Like I don't want to use this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to prove a point here that, like, you generally should be countering out with the hanger. You don't need it. Look at what this, if our opponent's playing like this, you just don't need it. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. That's it. I'm gonna let them attack one more time just to make them think that they have it. Absolutely not. I mean, look, again, if your opponent doesn't know how to play this, I mean, to be fair though, based on their hand, and it's like they just didn't draw anything. This was their only option. I feel like though they still should have spent Dawn to play out Frankie's and stuff like that. Like they could have played, like, I don't know. They just could have. It seemed like they had other options and they just didn't really take them. But specifically the NL matchup, you got to be starving the Nami player, or it's just not going to happen. It looks like they're ready for a rematch though. I'll run it. The opponent's ready. I'll run it. Maybe they do kind of learn it here. I'll run this. They choose to go first again. They still give me the draw, which I'm fine with. I got myself the Kaya. So I'll actually use 2 events here. Yep. And then I'll do this and then trash that. Still want to move through my deck. I'll draw Peel Off and pass, knowing that I will draw this Rubber Band. It's good that I drew the blocker. This hit I take, because that's a mistake on their part. You should not be kind of doing this. So we're gonna play out 2 of these because I know they have no threat out right now. So they can pop like one of these max. The other one just goes to thing. They can pop one of these max. That's 7 Dawn, sure. Oh, like, sorry. That's not how that works. Drop this, drop this. Kaya again, drop this, drop this. I mean, we're at 24 cards. I don't know what to tell you. Like, all of a sudden, like you see what these Margarets are doing? I hope everyone sees what these Margarets are doing. Just saying. Sure. You still can't swing, though. Look at this. Look at what I'm able to do right now. Pass it through. 19 cards for life. They haven't swung at me once. Like, this is beautiful. Fine. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to deploy this. Use cards. I mean, if you're just going to give me all these cards, then I'm going to use them. So let's do this. Draw. Keep it pushing. I could pull 2 more cards out, but We're going to keep our counters up. So now they can start swinging large here. No? Okay, well, I mean, all right. I don't know. I don't know, opponent. Like, it's not looking like a good strategy here, generally speaking. It's not looking like a good strat. We can get rid of this, maybe just get rid of that. Like, we definitely want to be using our snake dances here. Our board is full. Kayas are going to be so good here. And if they start swinging at me, it's almost too late. It's pretty much like almost too late here. My snake dances have so much value. They could go for like a big Nami swing maybe. And I'm down to counter that out. Like, they can't even use it. Like, are you going to heal me for one? No. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to do that. So we're going to snake dance bounce a Kaya and we'll pitch the 2K. Sure. And then we will snake dance, bounce the Kaya again, and we'll go gavel pitch. Swing at me. Sure. Right. We'll go Kaya. Drop. We'll go Kaya. Drop. That's game. That's game. I don't want to tell you nothing. There's literally no card in your deck that can actually solve this situation right now. Nothing. I feel like they'd just be drawing the wrong half of their deck, honestly. I don't know. GG's. Yeah, no, that's just the Enel matchup right now. Like, if you don't starve, you don't have a way to win. Like, if I draw like proactive matches against you, like, I don't know, opponent is still like, they're still ready for a rematch. I don't know if are they trying to learn? Like, I'm here to teach them. That's fine. You know what? If they're ready for this rematch, I think you know what, just reiterate it. Like, this is the whole point. We just want to reiterate the point. Not exactly what I want. This is much better. Right. Now they have me going first. I like this. Now they have me going first. Perfect. So I'm going to play this because they can't play Gadatsu. Play that out. They gotta hate it. They gotta hate it. Throw that in front. Love it. Pass the turn. Keep it moving. So now I'm wondering if they adapt and learn here. Playing out Shirahoshi. They're trying to sculpt here. They're trying to sculpt here. We just passed. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not drawing the exact kind of aggressive pulls that we want here. Wondering if they swing with this. Oh, they don't. They are smart. They are reserved. I like it. So this is where you play your removal and kind of kill this. I actually like this. It looks like our opponent's adapting. I really like this. This is cool. I very much could lose this game now because it looks like their mentality's changed. I like that. I'm happy we rematch them here. I'm happy we rematch them. This is what we call good One Piece right here. All right. I like it. You start swinging now. My snake dances don't have as much value. Okay, there you go. I mean, you're giving me opportunities to, I mean, at some point, you're going to play out like a big combat. Like, do you want to fill out your board, then start swinging? What's the plan here? Fair enough. 10 cost ace. Sure. All right. And then pass turn. We'll play this next turn. Right. Now your board's full. I mean, that's a board. that's a yo, opponent's cluing in right now. Yo, opponent has clued into the matrix right now. Opponent has actually clued into the matrix. They've escaped. Yo, opponent has escaped the matrix. This is actually so exciting. I love it. Opponent is actually clued into the matrix. I love it. This is great. We'll snake dance and then we'll pitch a 2K. I love it. I love it. We'll take 2 hits here. No trigger. We'll need that next turn. Nice. We'll use that. And then we can throw a 2K here. Okay, so we can throw a 2K. So our gavels are pretty much gone here. That's the thing we got to worry about, if anything. Oh, Lord. The bottom of our deck is about to go ham. Those bottom 4 cards are about to go ham if we can get there. All right, yo, honestly, we may just lose this one. Opponent cluing into the matrix here. All right. Trash and... Damn it, I didn't want to use that, but that's okay. I didn't want to use that. That's okay. Let's go no blocker, trash, and use that. Lost a Kaya there. That's okay. Throw that in front of there. Do they hit me 3 times? No trigger. Because I kind of need to get hit 3 times here. No, I kind of need that. Kind of going to use that. I guess I didn't need to. I could have just taken that last hit. Might have been smarter to do so. It might have been smarter to just take that last hit. Or at least like mill cards, then take that last hit. Yeah, that misclick probably will cost me. No trigger. That misclick will probably cost me here. Right. Could just go mega swing here. I don't know why they're not. That's not good. Yeah, that's for big. I'll give it to them. They actually played it right. We did not have that much of a proactive hand. But yeah, I'll take it there. I mean, we got 5 games of NL here. That was good. That was good. I'll give it to my opponent. Shout out to you, Purple. You're goated. You're goated. You learned off the top there. I love that. I love that. Congrats on that win.